funny, my like other word with the Punnett squirrel one.
Okay, we'll try it this way. Okay, so we are continuing on in section 5.2. Yesterday was a vocab day, phenotype versus genotype, alleles and genes, and homozygous versus heterozygous. So today we're going to focus in on a Punnett square, which will allow you to predict the outcomes of certain crosses. So we can predict patterns in each cross, and we use a Punnett square to show those outcomes. Now I'm going to have this PS abbreviated. This is for Punnett square. Punnett squares illustrate how the parents' alleles might combine in an offspring. It's not set in stone. It's just the probability. So each parent has 2 alleles for a particular gene, and remember, each parent will give one of those alleles in their sex cells, and then the sex cells will fuse in fertilization. So this is how it works. The top of the Punnett square shows one parent's alleles for the trait. So I have an example here, big T, little t. So we're going to say that this is one parent. So you're going to put big T here and a little t right here.
Above the box.
Above the box.
Right on the bottom underneath.
Then it says the side of the Punnett square shows the other parent's alleles for the trait. And in this example, that parent is going to be little t, little t. Now let's say, this is something that I need to add to the notes. Big T stands for tall, if we're looking at pea plants. And little t allele is for short pea plants. So looking at parent 1, big T, little t, is this individual tall or short? Tall, okay. So that big T is dominant. It will cover or mask the recessive allele for short. Is this individual heterozygous or homozygous? Heterozygous, because the letters don't match each other. We have a big and a small. All right, let's take a look at this parent, little t, little t. Are they tall or short? Short, because both alleles are lowercase. And is this homozygous or heterozygous? Homozygous. Very good. Okay, so Punnett squares are very similar to a multiplication table. These boxes represent the probability of the offspring. So each box represents 25%, and this is 100. So when you fill in this Punnett square, Lucas can't see that, so you take this big T and you put it in the first box. Okay, it's kind of like this parent is putting it into the sex cell. And then the other parent will donate the allele that's listed right here. So it's going to be big T, little t, okay? When you fill in your Punnett square, you always want to put the capital letter first. A lot of times on assignments, I'll see a little t and then a big T. Put your capital letters first because they're dominant, okay? Let's look at this box right here. So this parent has a little t, and this parent is going to give a little t. Let's take a look at this box down here. What letters am I going to put in this box? Yeah, the big T fills it in, and then this parent is going to give a little t. And then we have one more box to fill in. So this parent up here, there's a little t. And the parent over here is a little t. Okay, now on your homework, they're going to ask for ratios or percentages. What's the outcome of the offspring? And we see these terms, genotype and phenotype. What's genotype?
I don't know.
The genes?
Do you have a worksheet?
What?
Do you have the worksheet
We're taking notes.
the whole time?
We're taking notes right now.
Just focus what we're doing right now. Okay.
How can you do the worksheet if you don't know what we're doing. Teaching how to use a Punnett square. Okay, genotype. What is genotype? The genes. You can't see it. Okay, we use letters to show the genotype. Okay, so looking at the offspring, how many different letter combinations do you see? Two. Two of them, right? So one of the genotypes you see in the outcome is big T, little t. So you're going to write big T, little t equals. How many boxes here are big T, little t? 2. Okay. I'm just going to circle it. 1, 2. So then you're going to say 2 out of how many boxes are there total? 4. If they ask for a percent, what's 2 out of 4? 50%. Okay, so just be careful with your homework if they're looking for a ratio or a percent. Okay, but there's another genotype that we need to look at. Okay, little t, right? So, oh, sorry, I'm out of space here, so I'll just put little t here. So little t, how many boxes are little t, 2 out of 4. Or 50%. Okay, sometimes they'll ask for the phenotype. So what's phenotype? The stuff that you can see. So what do T's represent? Tall or short? So looking at my genotype, okay, big T stands for tall, so my individual could be tall. How many tall individuals do we have? 2, okay? There's 2 boxes here with a capital letter. So again, that ratio will be 2 out of 4 or 50%. What does little t stand for? Yeah, small, short. Wait for that to go away.
Wait, what did, oh, that's tall. I thought it was,
Well, I meant to write short, but I just ended up writing small. Oh well, same thing.
I thought it said TA4.
Huh.
No, like right on here.
Oh, sorry, I went cursive on you. So this is, I would say, the majority of your homework. Filling in Punnett squares, figuring out what the parent alleles are. Now here it was simple because I gave you the parent, but sometimes your homework problems will not give you that.
Wait, what?
Okay, so ratio and percentages express the probability of the outcomes. Ratios compare or show that relationship between 2 traits or things. Here I have a box, okay, a blue box, and I say, what's the ratio of blue squares to total squares? You say 4 out of 4. But then I might color in one box that's red and say, what's the ratio of red squares to total squares? And you'd say, well, 1 out of 4. So that's what a ratio is. Probability is the likelihood or chance of that specific outcome. So if I go back to our previous slide, you can say, all right, these 2 parents have a 50% chance that their offspring will be tall and a 50% chance that they will be short. That's how that works. It's a probability, it's a chance. It's not for sure, okay, but yeah. And then a percentage is the ratio that compares a number to 100. So I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar with probability, percentages, and ratios. This is, I think, stuff that's been covered in maybe 6th grade math, hopefully. It is 7th grade, okay. All right, let's try another one. This time we're looking at round versus wrinkled. We'll say pea plants here. So big R, this X means we're going to cross it with big R, little r. So big R, is that dominant or recessive? Dominant, and the dominant trait is round. Is this homozygous or heterozygous? Homozygous. Okay, let's take a look at this individual. What phenotype do they have? Round. Phenotype means what can you see. So They would be round if we could view them. And is this homozygous or hetero? Hetero, okay. So remember, step one, you take one parent and you choose a side, okay? So the big R will go here, and the other R, big R will go there. And then the other parent goes on the side. So big R, little r. Okay, so now we're going to fill it in. What's this first box going to look like? Two big R's. Okay, so big R, big R. What's this box going to look like? Two big R's again. So here's one big R. There's the other big R. All right, let's take a look at this third box. Big R, little r. Always write the capital letter first. And this final box. Yeah, big R and a little r again. So the big R came from this parent and the little r came from this parent. So we have this Punnett square filled in, and then let's just take a look at genotypic and phenotypic ratios. So we'll say genotype ratio. Yep,
No.
I'm gonna say no. Not right now. Okay, how many different genotypes do you see in the outcome?
4.
You see 4 different letter combinations? There's 2. What are they?
Yeah, because 2 of them are the same.
Yep.
My bad. That's what I meant.
So we have big R. How many big R squares are there? 2 out of 4. Or 50%. The other combination, big R, little r. Look at your Punnett square, say 2 out of 4, or 50%. Let's take a look at phenotype. So my phenotypes, what are the 2 different phenotypes that, in this pea plant here? Round or wrinkled. Now let's take a look at the outcome. If you have a capital R, you're going to be round. So is this individual round or wrinkled? Round. How about this one? Round, round, round. So the ratio, so you go round, 4 out of 4, because they all have a capital letter, or 100%. So that's the probability of these 2 parents. No matter what, their offspring are going to be round. Okay. All right, moving on. I think this is my last sample, right? Yep.
Oh.
Okay, last one. Big B, little b cross with big B, little b. All right, big B is going to stand for brown fur. And if you have black fur, then you're going to have 2 little b's. So brown is dominant over black. Is this individual heterozygous or homozygous? Hetero. I have a big letter and a small letter. Is it brown fur or black fur? Brown, because of the capital B.
Either way, black and brown.
Okay, this individual is the same. They are heterozygous for brown fur. So they want to cross 2 heterozygous parents, and we need to figure out the ratio and the percentage. So let's make our Punnett square, and I'm going to make mine over here just so I have a little bit of space. Sort of. Okay, really bad square. So I make my Punnett square. Take a look at parent number 1. I'll put them at the top. Parent number 2. Put them on the side. Okay, now we're going to fill it in. What's this first box right here? 2 big B's. Big B, big B. How about this box? Big B, little b. And this one. Big B, little b. And this last one? Little b, little b. Okay, so now for the genotypic ratio, how many big B boxes do I have? 1 out of 4. What's the percent on that? 25%. what just happened? I'm just gonna leave it at 25. Big B, little b, how many big B, little b boxes? 2 out of 4. What's the percent on that? 50. Little b, 1 out of 4. And the percent? 25. Okay, so that's genotype. So phenotype means what you can see. Now, black fur is recessive. The only way you can be black is 2 little b's.
Only way you can be black is 50.
So, how many boxes are little b, little b? 1 out of 4. What's the percent? 25. And brown fur? 3 out of 4. 75%.
Why you still that salsa up there?
Okay. So, Google Classroom. I'm going to post the assignment, and
Why you still have that canned salsa up there?
doesn't matter.
Why do you have a timer on? She also has a pine cone up there too. Special pine cone. What type of pine cone is it? Wouldn't the pine cone be dead? Has no sunshine.
This is what your assignment looks like. Should have posted in Google Classroom. I do have paper copies for those, but this first part, they give you the genotype, and they say, hey, what does this individual look like? You know, it says purple flowers are dominant to white flowers. So you tell me what they look like based on their genotype. Are you, shh, please.
Hello.
Second part. You take a look at the letters, you tell me if it's heterozygous dominant, homozygous dominant, or homozygous recessive. So if it has a capital letter, it's going to be dominant, but then if they look the same, then it'll be homozygous. If they look different, then it would be heterozygous. And then we have a sample problem here where you are looking at dogs and their phenotypes and genotypes. And it says the female dog is heterozygous. So what would the letters look like on that dog? Capital and lowercase. And what letter are we using? F. So this female dog is big F, little f. The male dog is homozygous recessive. What does that dog look like? Yeah, little f, homo means same, and recessive means lowercase. So then that's the 2 parents. Stick it in the Punnett square, figure out the genotypic and phenotypic ratios. And I think the backside is very similar to the dog scenario. I think I stay with the dog scenario throughout. So that is your assignment today. And I just printed it off. Hold on.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
No, I have them. Hold on.